Arsenal here with a 1-0 loss against West Ham here in the Premier League. And honestly, this is just very shocking. West Ham, um, for me, were one of the teams in the beginning of the season which I thought were going to be, a team fighting for European football. I really like the signings they made and the players that they have. And under Lopetegui, I guess it just wasn't it for West Ham. And when they got Graham Potter from, after being sacked from Chelsea last season, or underperforming season, I feel like now they're slowly starting to get their groove. And West Ham, they have a lot of great players, great set of players, and going against this Arsenal side here with a title, competing for the title, and that West Ham are underperforming this season, and Arsenal just goes in there and just rules all that. Arsenal for me is a team that have bought is a team that I feel like can win a bunch of trophies. They can win so many trophies, and with I do like Arteta. With people not liking Arteta, saying he's been there for many years and not having to win a single thing, and for me, I was with him when he was, in his processing era for Arsenal. Bringing the youngsters and bringing up like Martinelli and Saka and bringing all this deadwood of players, and I believed in that. I really did, and I feel like he has, but now I feel like it's a point where you cut that. For Arsenal, it's not a processing era. It's not trying to be a good team. You are a good team. You're one of the best teams in the world, but you just slack during the most important times, and that's why they bottled the league 2 years in a row. Arsenal should have won the Premier League back-to-back seasons, and for me, a key reason for that, maybe not for this match, but is a proper number 9. I just feel like here we can see here he played Marino at striker again, which is really shocking for me. You know, Arsenal, for me, what confuses me for years is why don't you go for a number 9? You use Trossard up top, you use Marino up top, Kai Havertz up top, but they sold their academy prospect, who I really liked. Every time for me, when he got into the pitch, he performed amazingly. Was Nketiah, but and you get rid of your striker and you just play players out of position, which you're just signing a bunch of defenders. Arsenal are stacked with defense. But I feel like they can go for a midfielder and a striker. A midfielder that can help Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard, and a striker, a proper, true number 9. I don't care if it's Alexander Isak or Victor Groykers. For me, they need a proper number 9. And, maybe for this match, for me, it was similar to like the City of Madrid game where, I feel like Haaland wouldn't have made a difference, because City just played bad in general and they wouldn't give him the ball. This was probably another situation similar to this where, they probably wouldn't have gotten whoever up top, their number 9 would have a chance to get out the ball and score. But, for West Ham, Edson Alvarez, for me, I don't think that rating proves what he has. I feel like this is one of his best matches he had under a West Ham shirt. And if you just look at his team, I feel like there's just so much promise in this team with, James Ward-Prowse, Kudus, Bowen. I'm just a huge fan of this West Ham team. And in the bench, they signed in the summer Somerville, and they just had such a slow start. But I feel like now West Ham are hopefully getting to the groove, because I really like the appointment of Graham Potter. I really do like him, and the things he did with Brighton. But for Arsenal, for me, they really need to do something. For me, I think the title race is done. I think Liverpool, if whatever result they have against Manchester City, I don't think Arsenal will catch up, and I do think Liverpool are going to win the title. The title race is obviously not ending, but I feel like for me, it's pretty much done. If Arsenal keeps on playing like this, it's just really, really no chance for this. And it's for me, Arsenal get laughed at. They get trolled with being a team that hasn't been able to achieve anything in the past few years. But for me, I really do think they can. And, maybe they can go for another left winger if Martinelli, people saying he's overrated, he's not that man for the job. Arsenal really need to do something because here in this title race, which Liverpool are 8 points up, if they would get this Manchester City win, it would be 11. I think with a game in hand, it's just really, really honestly just pretty much done with Arsenal. And yeah, we'll see now what would happen with them. But yeah, that was pretty much here for Liverpool versus West Ham. Everton drew against Manchester United here at Goodison Park. And for me, it was just a shocking performance from Manchester United, honestly. For me, I've said it before, Manchester United team is just really embarrassing to watch here. Everton were winning 2-0 in the first half, and Manchester United were able to get a draw out of this match, which is just, for me, David Moyes has really changed this Everton team. They were down in 17th place. Sure, they're nowhere near up in the standings in the Premier League, but they're finally getting wins. They're getting a bunch of points where no one expects them to get points, drawing against big teams. And David Moyes is really the key factor because of that. And Manchester United is just, I don't even know where to start off with Manchester United. For me, number one thing is I'm gonna stop defending Amorim as much as I've done before. I think that if it's not working, you gotta change something up. You've been here for how long? And you haven't. You look just as bad as Ten Hag, and I think it's just if this formation is not working out how you anticipated, then you gotta stop doing it. This formation is clearly not working for Manchester United. They're at 15th place. It's really embarrassing for people to see, and I've defended Amorim. I really thought it was a really good signing for Manchester United, him as head coach or as the manager from it. But honestly, it's just they just need to figure something out here. I just think that there's an extent, there's a point where you just gotta realize that this is not working, that this is not going so well. And for me, I think there's a lot of players in this team that could, or just deadwood, and that you can really just get rid of. And and this West Ham team, or not this West Ham team, this Everton team under David Moyes is just looking better, and they're above Manchester United right now in the standings. And I really, really do think that Manchester United they have the players. They really do have the players. They have such good young players in this team, which is just not meshing well. And I'm done defending Almiron for that. It's to a point where is the higher management. It's not just sure for me. For me, a key factor is just the morale of the team and the environment with Manchester United. Because first, as a manager, you can't be going into a match or in general and saying, yeah, my team, they're the worst ever team in this club's history. You can't really do that. Sure, telling your players in the dressing room, you're doing this wrong. This team is not doing well. We got to figure out something new. That's fine. That's what a coach is supposed to do. But going out in the media and saying, yeah, my team, they're the worst ever team of all time. We're performing like this because we're the worst. You can't, you don't know what that does to, I guess, the team as a whole, not just the players but the fans, the upper management. Another issue too is Ineos and the higher ups of Manchester United, and it's just the whole situation with United. It's just terrible, just absolutely terrible. So Manchester United really need to find an issue here. If they have the players, they really do. But it's just such a shame with the position that they are here, and I just think really they have a bunch of injuries as well. But you look at the starting 11, they still have good players here, and it's just not working out. So Manchester United really need to find something out. But yeah, here was Everton 2, Manchester United 1, or Manchester United 2, and a draw here at Goodison Park. And now we're gonna head over to the Chelsea match. Aston Villa with a 2-1 win at home against Chelsea. And here with this game is, honestly, for me, it's a similar situation with Manchester United, with Chelsea. Chelsea, I don't know what happened. First of all, I'm going to talk about Chelsea in the beginning because everyone remembers the amazing 3 months performance they had in the beginning of the season. They had a little, I guess, meme going on saying, "Oh, we're not fighting for the title. We're just a small team trying to win the Conference League and trying to get European football." Because they're just saying that by, just a terrible performance that they had last season, and that joke now it's the truth. Chelsea or just a team they need to win the Conference League, because if they don't, that's just the most embarrassing thing of all time. And you need to get European football. Chelsea has spent so much money in this club and so many players coming and going, and I just don't understand why they bring in so many players. And then it's just another Manchester United situation. I just think everything what the higher ups are doing is just not good. I feel like they look at Chelsea's performance earlier in the season, and they just don't they didn't care. They're like, oh well, like I don't even think they looked back at it and be like, oh, we performed well. We got to figure out how to keep it that way. No, I feel like they're like, oh, we played good. Oh, now we're playing bad. Oh well, that's just the thing for Chelsea really here. And here we're gonna look at their starting lineup, and you know, for me, a similar situation with Chelsea, or not Chelsea, with Chelsea is Arsenal. They don't have a proper number 9, also, which is, sure, with Nicholas Jackson and I guess Mark Yu, if you want to consider him, which I do rate, and I think he should be given minutes up top as he's a proper number 9. I feel like he has so much talent and he has so much to show for, but at this time, you just bring in so much money into this team. Just recently, performing bad. The last few games, I think it was 2 wins, 2 draws, 5 losses, or something around that. 3 draws, 2 losses, 5 or it's called 2 wins, 3 draws, 5 losses in the last 10 games, and it's just unacceptable for this team at this caliber. I wonder what happened with this form that they had earlier in the season. It just all went away, and is this a thing now being considered? Does Maresca get fired? People saying he should get sacked, and for me, I think he stays. I think Enzo Maresca is the cut line where, all right, we gotta stop firing our managers. We gotta put our faith into a manager, which they haven't done. And I'm surprised with Pochettino sacking last season, because they were started performing really well, and they gone through so many managers with Frank Lampard, with Graham Potter and Thomas Tuchel, Pochettino, and now Maresca. And I feel like now is the time when you cut it off, but it's now the time we gotta start changing things. Because for me, Chelsea do have a really good team. They of course they have a good team. They spent so much money in this team, but they have 8 goalkeepers, and you can't find a single goalkeeper that'd be your best. And for me, I really liked Jurgensen too. I think I didn't really like Sanchez at goal, but I really wanted Jurgensen to get more minutes. Today was just not his day, and your best keeper that you have still under contract is at Bournemouth right now, playing amazing with Kepa Arrizabalaga, and I honestly don't know what Chelsea's really gonna do about that. And here with Aston Villa is with just a Marco Asensio. I'm a Madrid fan and I love Marco Asensio. I remember him coming up in 2017 with that banger against Sevilla in the Super Cup against Sevilla, and then just after that he just became Madrid's star boy. And he's never really got to the potential that he could have been with the injuries that was going on with him. But I'm really happy to see bag 2 goals. Really happy to see Marcus Rashford get 2 assists. For me, it's Aston Villa. They brought in reinforcements. This is what teams really need to do. Aston Villa found the spots that they needed, and they got reinforcements for it. Their bench was lacking. They got reinforcements, and that's what they're doing right now. They're in the Champions League. They have a chance to go high in the Champions League, to go far, to go in the quarterfinals, maybe even the semis, if they just perform the way that I think they could. For me, they have a really good team, a really strong team with a lot of depth. Where they have still a bunch of injuries with Ross Barkley, but these are all coming back around March time. So when all these players come back fit, I really do think, Aston Villa or just I feel like it's either Aston Villa or Newcastle that will get European football. I do not. I think Nottingham Forest will drop points, but there's a whole different story here. But with all the likes of Ollie Watkins and Rodgers getting hurt, I really like Aston Villa's team here. But Chelsea, they need to find the groove or something. They really do. But this was Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 1, and here we're gonna head into the final match, and that was Tottenham versus Spurs. Here we are with Tottenham Hotspur versus Ipswich Town, and for the first 15 minutes, Ipswich could have been leading by 3 goals, honestly. But if you don't take the chances that you have, then stuff like this happens with a 4-1 win with Tottenham. And for me, honestly, I did not see this match, so I don't know much to go with this. Here, with Chelsea or Tottenham, our main problem with them, they're in the same situation with Manchester United, but for me, it's different than Manchester United as well. Because they have so many injuries here. A bunch of their star players are injured. Christian Romero, Mickey Van de Ven, and Solanke, their big money signing. And I guess Richarlison, if you want to say. And, with James Maddison coming back also, and they're playing Archie Gray out of position. Tottenham just in a situation where they really need to... just to backtrack, I think their manager, Angu Pusagelo, I do really like him, but I don't know if he's the man for the job for Tottenham. I just think that they need to find more an experienced coach. I really liked Conte under Tottenham, but it just did not really work out. And sure, that was a few years ago, so people would forget about that. But I just feel like they really need a manager like that. Well, they need a manager with experience and that can transform this team that has so much potential and can be because just looking at this team, it's not the same Tottenham that I saw back in 2019. It's just really sad to see. And Son played really well this game, bagging 2 assists here, and nothing crazy with the Ipswich Town team with Hutchinson and Delap, an Arsenal and former Chelsea and Arsenal player and a former Manchester City player, Calvin Phillips as well, Ben Godfrey. It's just a thing that Tottenham really needs to overcome. It's an important win. Doesn't change anything pretty much for Tottenham. They're not back. They're not doing anything crazy. But this is a really important win for Tottenham. It's Ipswich Town, so you can't really be going crazy about this win. But that's pretty much that for that. Here we talk about the games, which I'm not going to fully cover. Crystal Palace with Fulham. Huge win for Crystal Palace against a really good performing Fulham team at the moment. Brighton with a 4-0 win against Southampton. And I think there's another game here. And Leicester losing 4-0 to Brentford. So, for me, I always liked Leicester City, and it's a shame that Ruben Nistelrooy's side can't get the points that he really should be getting. But but that's pretty much it. This is for Tottenham and Ipswich Town, and hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.